You know they hurt you. You know the relationship was toxic. You've replayed every red flag 100 times in your head, and yet you still miss them, not just a little deeply, in a way that confuses even you. If you've ever felt ashamed of that feeling, I want you to stop right now, because what you're experiencing isn't weakness. It isn't stupidity. It is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. And once you understand the psychology behind it, everything changes. Let's start with something most people don't know. When you're in a painful or unpredictable relationship, one where affection comes and goes, where love is mixed with hurt, your brain doesn't respond the way it would in a stable relationship. It responds like an addiction. There's a psychological mechanism called intermittent reinforcement. It means that when reward and pain come randomly, unpredictably, in no clear pattern, the brain becomes obsessed with chasing the reward, not because the reward is great, but because it's uncertain. Casinos are built on this exact principle. So was your relationship. Every moment of warmth, every good day, every time they were kind after being cruel, your brain logged that as a hit of dopamine. And just like a drug, the inconsistency didn't make you want them less. It made you want them more. But there's a second layer to this, and it's even harder to sit with. Humans are meaning-making creatures. When we invest time, emotion, pain, and hope into something, our brain refuses to let that investment feel worthless. Psychologists call this the sunk cost effect. We stay, we return, we miss, not because the person deserves it, but because leaving means admitting that everything we went through was for nothing. Your brain is not trying to hurt you when you miss them. It is trying to protect the story that you are suffering had a purpose. That is a deeply human thing, but it is also the thing keeping you stuck. Now here is what nobody talks about, the thing underneath the missing. You don't only miss the person, you missed a version of yourself that existed in that relationship. You miss who you were when you believed it was going to work. You missed the hope, the potential, the person they occasionally showed you they could be. Grief after a toxic relationship is complicated because you're mourning something that was never fully real, a future that was promised but never delivered, a person who existed in glimpses but never stayed. That kind of grief has no clean edges. There's no funeral for there's no closure for a relationship that ended not with a clear goodbye, but with a slow erosion of everything you thought it was. And then there's the body. People underestimate how physical this kind of missing is. When you're bonded to someone, even someone who hurt you, your nervous system adapts to their presence, their voice, their smell, the rhythm of their breathing next to you at night. Your body learned them. And when they're gone, your nervous system registers that as danger, not heartbreak. Danger. This is why you can't sleep, why you reach for your phone at 2 a.m., why a song or a smell can collapse you completely. Your body is not being dramatic. It is going through a withdrawal that is neurologically real as any other form of dependency. So what do you do with all of this? First, you stop being ashamed of the missing. It doesn't mean you want them back. It doesn't mean you made a mistake leaving. It means you are human, and your brain and body are doing what they were built to do. Second, you redirect the craving. Every time you feel the pull, recognize it for what it is, a dopamine loop, not a sign. The urge will peak and pass, like a wave, if you don't feed it. Third, and this is the hardest one, you grieve what was never real. You give yourself permission to mourn the relationship you wished it had been, not just the one it was. That grief is legitimate. It deserves space. Missing someone who hurt you doesn't make you weak. It makes you someone who loved deeply in a place that didn't deserve it. And that capacity, that depth is not something to fix. It is something to protect. Save it for someone who will never make you question whether you deserve an apology. Save it for someone whose consistency feels boring at first, because you've been trained to need chaos, but whose steadiness, over time, will feel like the safest place you've ever been.